Hello, everybody. Hi, it's me, Bigfoot Michigan Rob here. As you know, on my channel, Bigfoot Michigan Rob, there's a lot of variety. I have brunch with Bigfoot Michigan Rob. We have interviews. We've got 5 shows every week, and I tell a lot of encounter stories on my channel that people love. Whether it's an email from a subscriber to the channel or whether it's something that I pull up off of a report. Well, Bigfoot Rob is going to tell a story that I wrote, actually. I wrote this 6 months ago, and I'm going to call it fictional, but a lot of the ideas I got for this story was on actual accounts that I've heard of. So, what I went ahead and did is I kind of dreamed up a story, and you never know. Parts of these stories could have actually happened. A lot of the events in this story are things that I've heard, but was not quite sure of. So, I'm taking a stab as a writer, and I want you to let me know what you think. This story is called The Land of the Lost Souls, the story of Emmet Pratt. And here we go. My name is Emmet Pratt, and this is my story. It was early June in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. I, being an adventurous sort, had always wondered why Lake Bloom, tucked away in Hiawatha National Forest, with approximately 894,000 acres of wilderness, was regarded as no man's land, or, quote, Lake of the Lost Souls. Surely, some commercial logging industry encompassed some of the wilderness area and the lake, and it was an area where actually few people had camped, hiked, or even experienced. But the land of the lost, Lake of the Lost Souls, an old tale to keep the public away, I suppose. I had always figured that it had been drummed up by the industry. Boy, let me tell you, was I ever so wrong. It was about 5 a.m., and I had trailered my 18-foot Ranger bass boat to an area worthy of launching it. There was no public docking area. I had found a spot wide enough where the brush had been beaten down as I could back the trailer to the edge of the shoreline to launch my vessel. Upon cruising my boat on Bloom Lake, I had noticed that the lake itself was surrounded by masses of a variety of trees. Some seemed to reach the sky. The area was extremely dense and smelled of pine and oak amongst the other fragrances that Mother Nature affords us. I had been traveling along the shoreline for an hour, enjoying the beauty of what was laid out before me. Then in the distance, I saw an opening offshore that appeared to be a stream that led back into the forest. How exciting! Upon approaching the entrance of the stream, a thick chain expanding approximately 40 feet was stretched out across the area, forbidding entrance. A sign above read, Keep out, Danger, Department of the Interior. Now, I'm getting excited. Without haste, I was able to maneuver under the chain and proceed up the stream. After about 100 yards motoring up the stream, an eerie feeling had befallen upon me. It was a feeling of dread, or as if somebody was watching me, but not watching in a protective manner, one that felt, sinister and evil. My skin got cold as goosebumps had swollen on my body of what seemed to be running from head to toe. Now, keeping in mind, this area of the stream was dark, with little light breaking through the massive trees that surrounded myself and the vessel that I navigated. Then it happened. A rock the size of a baseball was hurled from the eastern shoreline, pelting me directly in my back. I lost control of the boat and caroomed harshly into the stream bank, knocking me to the floor of the craft. When I was able to regain my senses, I looked upwards, and a massive figure loomed directly over the top of me from the stream bank. A break in the tree line allowed the sun to peer through, allowing much greater visibility. With this, I screamed in horror. The beast had to stand almost 9 feet tall, with mass and girth as wide as the oak and cypress trees that lined the forest edge. It looked down at me with a repulsive grin, teeth long and razor sharp. Mucus from the teeth had dripped upon my forehead. The terrible face looked like a demon or something out of a child's worst nightmare. It rose its massive arm, exposing claws that extended from its fingertips and the hands. The hands appeared to be human-like. Before I know it, the massive arm came crashing down towards me. Then out of the distance, I heard a loud blast, which reminded me of a loud thunder boom. I lost consciousness. I do not recall how long I was out. Upon waking up, I was in a room that seemed like a hospital room. I soon realized this was no ordinary hospital. I took notice that there were no windows. The room was dark and plain, no television, furniture, or any accommodation of a modern hospital. I started to feel apprehensive and scared. I screamed out for somebody. Anybody, come into my room. Where am I? Finally, 2 men entered the room. These men, well, they were no doctors. One man was tall and thin, pale as a ghost, with a pointed chin, and he sported a dark black suit. The other man was much shorter and stocky, with a hardened jawline. He too wore a black suit and had a classic black fedora sitting squarely atop his head. Where am I? I exclaimed. What happened to me? And who are you people? Both men in unison put their index fingers to their lips as to shush or silence me. Without explanation, they gave me a pair of sweatpants and a t-shirt to put on and told me to get dressed. They mentioned that they were going to take me home and that all would be explained to me on the trip back. Home? What a relief. At that moment, I was not even interested in the monster that I saw in the forest or who these two strange, nefarious men were. I was going home. I quickly got dressed and was ushered into a black sedan waiting outside for me. Both men accompanied me, with myself up front on the passenger side, the thin man driving and the heavy-set man directly in back of me. Glee rose from inside my body as we turned down my street approaching my home. Not a word nor an explanation of what happened to me was even uttered by these two mysterious men. I didn't care. I was ecstatic. Going home. As we proceeded down my street, abruptly the sedan stopped, not 30 feet from my home. The driver, being the tall, thin man, turned to me and grinned a hideous grin and said, "Welcome to the Lake of the Lost Souls." Before I could answer him, I felt pressure in the back of my skull, which proceeded to the front of my forehead. Shortly thereafter, I felt a warm, sticky substance, flow from the front of my forehead, covering my face. Then I realized the short, stocky man in the back seat had executed me. Today I roam the Lake of the Lost Souls with 43 other trapped spirits. We try to protect other souls from being taken by this evil entity. This is truly the land of the lost. As far as the creature and the two sketchy men, I don't know. But I do know this. They are there for a purpose. What is that? What's the purpose, you may ask? That, my friends, is a story for another time. I am Emmet Pratt. So, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly enjoyed writing it. Again, it's fictional, kind of compiled from things that I've learned or heard throughout the years doing what I'm doing now. I liked it. Leave a comment. Should I do more? Do I even hell, am I a writer? Am I going to be a writer one day? Who knows? I do this for fun. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, Bigfoot Michigan Rob. You can find me at noon Thursdays with my great interviews with our guests. Subscribe to Bigfoot Michigan Rob. You can also follow me at Rob_Bigfoot on the new Twitterverse. BMR is out. Until next time, I love you all.